regimental regiment that was like just of tall people.
And that's how basketball was invented.
Yeah.
It reminds me of how Nietzsche really hated German mythology because he's like, people don't like it because it's good. They just like it because it's German. And what is a German but a young man of long legs who does what he's told?
Damn, it's true.
Yeah.
You know what, guys? Nietzsche was right.
Yeah.
So Peter the Great, though, was into, because he was super tall, right?
Was he Russian?
He was Russian.
Yeah.
So I finished reading like this huge book on Peter the Great and learned all sorts of really cool stuff. But like he was like really into dwarves. Like apparently the hardest he ever laughed was like at a dwarf wedding.
That's so good.
So like
some humor really truly is universal.
Yeah, exactly. So it was like a dwarf groom and wife, and like the chaplain was also a dwarf, and like he made his own little dwarf emperor and stuff like that.
So good.
And apparently just like piss his pants laughing, just like going buck wild.
So you could take him to see Mini Kiss and he would like get it. Totally.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So it's just kind of fun that like on one side you have people who are like, I need to collect all the giants. I need all the big guys. And then you have other guys who are like, I need all the small people. I'm collecting them.
I mean, everyone's got to work.
Yeah.
Man, the 19th century was just like, everyone just collected menageries of fucking freaks and shit, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, the Elephant Man. He's in our society now.
Yeah.
Trade you 3 bearded ladies for the Elephant Man. No, he's mine.
I mean, when you can trade...
Maybe Pokemon's not so bad.
This man was born with another arm. Laugh at him and throw rotten fruit.
Oh, that was the other thing is Peter the Great was also an amateur dentist.
Whoa.
What?
Yeah.
That's like one of the things you don't want to be an amateur of.
It was the 17th century though, so you could basically be an amateur anything, and it was about as good as being
amateur
like, a master.
gynecologists.
There's hardly any qualifications to be a doctor until like 1950, right?
Yeah,
You've seen pictures of a naked person. It's like, I'm basically a doctor. I know where these things go.
You got all the humors, blood, wind, fire, I don't know, whatever.
Like I hammer horseshoes in, I can also perform surgery.
Yeah.
Basically the same thing. The principle remains the same.
Mm-hmm.
I heard my son getting born, so I can perform open heart surgery. I don't know if you know
Close
that.
enough.
It's all the same gushy bits. Absolutely.
What would like the civ for the Canadian Empire be? Johnny McDonald?
Oh, they have.
Diefenbaker?
Didn't they have one as
Diefenbaker was
DLC?
fucking crazy. I want crazy when it comes to our
Mackenzie
civ
King
represent-
is just like talks to his like ghost dog.
Mackenzie King's also crazy because he went to a medium every week to talk to his dead mother.
Yeah.
Who
Trudeau the First?
Who started the Hudson Bay Company? He'd be good.
Ooh.
I don't think
Oh man, I've forgotten. That's like the only history.
That's all we have is
yeah.
Hudson Bay Company.
Wasn't also like a Brit? Like I'm pretty sure it wasn't a Canadian who started that. I'm pretty sure
there was
at that
no
point
such
in time.
thing.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure
Like, who cares?
Yeah, that's
Who cares?
About
Yeah, who
Canadian
cares
history?
who was here?
we've had some impressive leaders. Do we have Johnny McDonald? Because I like the idea of him stumbling around drunk.
And you get bonuses for building railways.
If I remember correctly, one of the civs has like Australia as a civilization, which is like a fucking oxymoron.
That's fucking crazy. Yeah.
Sorry to our Australian friends.
Yeah, all of them.
It's just that you aren't yet a great civilization. You might get there eventually.
The only people less historically relevant than Canada.
Listen up,
might be
Australians.
the
This
Aussies.
is just like how you got into like Eurovision. You were just like around long enough, and eventually you got a turn.
Is that for real?
Yeah,
I didn't know Australia was part of Eurovision.
yeah, and like Azerbaijan and Israel and shit.
That makes even okay, but like Azerbaijan and Israel make a little more sense because they might even be on the same landmass. But like Australia,
Yeah, Australia's all the way over.
yeah.
Pure coward, pure bullshit. I think the audio sounds good. I think we could probably start this.
And have like a 5-minute opener of us talking about weird
As opposed
history.
to all the other episodes we've had that have been really on point and directly to the message and started lickety-split.
I mean,
Yes.
they
Look,
did
I've
say
been reading that fucking book for like months now, and I'm done it. So like, this is my one chance to say I read a book.
I'm really proud of you.
I just want to say the Kiwis are the Canadians of Oceania. That's what
Oh,
I wanna say.
absolutely. I like them.
Yeah, they're better than the Aussies, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Of the like 3 Kiwis I've met.
Yeah, let's stoke some more fires.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I mean, like it's been proven that the Australians are generally bad people.
Look, 3 is a pretty good sample size.
they're all fucking criminals.
I watched Thor last night, and I'm pretty sure I can say the director's name with confidence this time.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, it's Kenneth Branagh.
Yeah.
Wait, Taika Waititi? Did I do it?
Taika Waititi.
Damn it!
Yep, 0 for 7 there, Kelly.
Not my Thor. That's
Yeah,
not
I gotta go watch it again, I guess.
Are we jumping right into this?
Yeah, we're doing this now. This is happening.
Okay.
This is Super Hopped Up. It's your favorite podcast about stoking ethno-national hatreds.
Wow, good intro.
Wow.
Great intro, guys.
It's hard to follow that one up.
Yeah,
Okay.
whoa.
We did it. I am your host, Chris Norris-Jones, sitting on a chair, driving his way in, one Mr. David Beebe.
The Kazakhs are a kind of bug, right? We're good on that?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
One Mr. Matthew Emery.
Cossacks are a bug. Anyone derived from a Cossack is also a bug.
One Mr. Kelly Wright.
You can go ahead and say we are no longer affiliated with the YouTube channel.
By the way, so I discovered that I had actually not ever seen GoldenEye. Like I had
What?
thought
What are you
that I
doing?
had seen GoldenEye because I played the game GoldenEye.
I almost guarantee that is everybody's first James Bond film in this circle, maybe.
Yeah.
Mine was Casino Royale.
That's a good one to start with.
Uh,
I started with the one with the lasers and I think Halle Berry in it.
That's
that
a bad
is,
one. That's like the ice one.
That's
Yeah.
called Enough, and that's
It's
the one where
called
she beats up her husband.
A Good Day to Die. A Day Never Dies Again. Never.
Tomorrow is not enough. I think
not
it's
that
one of
one.
them.
There is not enough good days to die.
It's the one where there's the North Korean guy who becomes like a white
And he
guy.
has diamonds all in his face.
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't that like Moonraker or something?
No, it's called Live Another Day.
Doesn't he
Die
have
Another Day.
Die Another Day.
Die Another Day.
Yeah,
yes.
there we go.
Doesn't he have a laser beam on the moon though? There's something about the moon. I
Well,
remember.
Moonraker,
Yes,
yeah.
there's like a fucking particle cannon.
Yeah. That's what causes the ice to explode, and then there's the scene where he's driving on the big wave. That
Yeah,
movie was dumb.
And James Bond is one great, continuous, unbroken timeline of completely coherent movies that all fit into the same,
Right.
life of one man.
And then
So interjecting about GoldenEye, something I did not realize from just playing the game is there is a concept in GoldenEye that like Cossacks are congenitally traitors. Like just like the fact that you are derived from a Cossack makes you a traitor, which I think is incredibly funny. Like just pick a random subset from Eastern Europe. Those guys can never be trusted ever.
It's just art imitating life. Yeah.
I mean, isn't James Bond all about stereotyping people?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, so that checks, I guess.
Yeah, and you know what? He was right.
You know what I was thinking about Russians the other day is that, like, you know how people love Vikings, like, so much,
Mhm.
and, like, they really didn't, like, accomplish that much. Like, their golden age was, like, 1,000 years ago, and it was fairly short, and it was mostly just murdering and and maybe conquering England. That was maybe the greatest thing they ever did.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty good though.
But then, like, the most accomplished Vikings are the Russians, but they don't get remembered as being Vikings.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Because they're cowards. They didn't die.
Oh, okay. So they didn't see the pearly gates of
Yeah,
Valhalla
exactly.
or whatever.
Yeah.
They got fat and lazy. They started up a kingdom. No cool baller ass warrior culture ever started up a kingdom. They
But they
all got
conquer like
fat
a-
and lazy and lame.
They conquered
See the
like
Romans.
They conquered like a third of Asia. Like it's
Yeah, but
pretty
they-
big.
It's pretty nuts though.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
most of that's basically empty. Like what? Like oh, the
Except for
horse,
the people that
the
lived
horse
and died
archers.
there.
Yeah, that's fine. All right.
Wait, also, are you saying that Rome is not cool?
It's not. I've
start-
been there.
No. I said Rome started off dope as fuck. And then they
Okay.
got like much like most empires, they got fat and lazy and lame, and then it all just kind of went downhill from there.
And
Let
they
me tell you about the mandate of heaven.
Aha.
Let's do this now. Let's
Yeah.
start this. This is how we're gonna start this podcast about video games, pop culture, and whatever else we do.
I mean, it's obviously not about beer.
Yeah, I fucked up, guys. I'm sorry.
What happened, David?
Oh well, I was so excited that I passed my driving test today.
Let's clarify. Okay, yeah, congratulations. First
Thank
and
you.
foremost, congratulations.
I am 16 years old and I just passed my driving test.
Yeah, you passed your N test.
Yeah.
So you're 17.
Yeah, so you're 17. So like you can drive alone, unaccompanied, no adults needed, but you still what? No, because like you
can
because
drive-
you're so old, you actually aged out of like the age requirements, haven't you?
No, there's no age requirements as far as I know. My only like limitations are I can only carry like an immediate family plus one other passenger.
But no, I remember that. But like the rule also was like it could be immediate family or like a instructor or like person of responsibility who has their full license over the age of 24. So
25, yeah.
my bullshit workaround was like if everyone in the car is 25 with a full license, we're all your instructors, so you're good to go.
Does that work?
I don't know, but I'm like I feel like
Never
it
been
wouldn't hold
tested.
up in a court, but you could try it.
Apparently, like I won't out him, but like one of my friends who was on his N class license right now got a speeding ticket the other week and was very afraid that this would like reset the waiting period for his test and all that. But like he went to the ICBC and it wasn't a big deal. So
It's just because no one at ICBC like talks to anyone else. It's not like
yeah.
I don't know, dumb bureaucracy. I would say
For the viewers, the listeners at home,
you reader.
ICBC is our equivalent of both like
The DMA.
the DMA,
DMV.
DMV.
Sorry. Yeah, it's our equivalent of DMX.
AAA, right? Because it's our insurance and our licensing office.
It's also our equivalent of the AVNs. I don't know how that happens.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Government funds.
Everyone's
all over.
fucking and sucking.
And it's also our EDM. If giant ants ever show up, we go to ICBC.
It's a hell of a party.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Wait,
what
Which one
EDM
are
were
you
you talking about?
Earth Defense? Oh no, it's EDF.
EDF.
Sorry.
EDM
What
is
the fuck?
electronic dance music.
Yeah.
EDM was the better joke. Also, you stumbled into the better joke.
This is like a classic Kelly move.
Yeah.
He said DMI.
By the way, check out our Injustice video to hear Kelly. No, or was it the Hidden Agenda video to hear Kelly say "Red Heron," which I think is a very good.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That will be out by now, unfortunately.
That's a definite Joeyism,
Yeah.
I would say.
I know you didn't edit that part because we riffed on it for like 10 minutes.
We made sure you kept it. The reason why I brought you all here today is we all saw a movie. Most of us saw a movie on Saturday, but we've all seen a movie about the beautiful little nation that could. A wonderful jewel in.
Oh, you guys watched Slumdog Millionaire as well?
The post-colonial crown that is Africa. I'm talking about Wakanda. I'm talking about the documentary that came out this past weekend about the Black Panther.
La Pantera Negra.
Okay, all right.
Is that what it's called?
That's literally just Spanish. I don't know why you guys got mad at me.
The thing I said at the beginning was a joke, David. God damn it.
Because we're bilingual with French in this country. So it's Le Panther Noir.
I fucking dare you to say Black Panther in French right
Le
now.
Panther Noir.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
He's probably half right. He said it really poorly, but he's at
Noir.
least half right.
It's
That
Le.
makes sense. Whatever.
Sorry, it's Le Panther.
Le Panther.
Le Panther Noir.
That's Quebec French for sure.
Yeah.
Le Panther.
I'm
Noir.
sorry, we cut you off pretty bad.
There was nothing really to cut off there. I don't know. There's a really dumb thing that I saw after I saw Black Panther, not today but earlier on. So I was frequenting a porn site a couple of days ago. Yeah, I will out it. It was YouPorn. I was frequenting YouPorn a few days ago.
Wow, YouPorn?
Yeah,
I mean, that's
the
our
classic.
We're sponsored by them, right?
What's wrong with YouPorn? First of all,
Pornhub for life, man.
I don't see any difference. I don't know what your problem is. You're not allowed to want to espouse a man for his personal brand.
So I've been reading another book.
About
Fucking Captain Reader over here.
Yeah, I know, right? Sorry, guys. It's actually about like big data and porn and shit. And I'm learning some great stuff.
I could see that.
Apparently,
Big data.
big honking data, 12-inch
hefty
data.
Swinging data.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're reading a book with no pictures about porn. Is that what I heard?
Yeah, no, there's just graphs. My kind of porn. But I've learned that like apparently breastfeeding fetish is extremely popular in India.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Those are always the best things is when Pornhub like annually releases like their most searched terms and that kind of thing.
Yeah. So this guy got access to the full Pornhub data set, which is like,
oh wow.
Question.
That's El Dorado, isn't
Yeah.
it? That's
Yeah.
the golden standard.
Yeah.
What is the most searched porn in Wakanda?
Well, okay, yeah. The reason I brought this up, I wasn't just like, so by the way, I was beaten off to things earlier. I had a point to this. And I want to know if I thought this was weird, and I want to know if you guys thought this was weird. So YouPorn, they have a thing, it's just like hot videos lately, and it has a certain topic, and it said favorite videos from Wakanda, and it was all ebony porn. And I thought that was the weirdest thing I had seen on any porn site in a good long time.
Ad dollars at work.
I guess.
That's that's some good marketing right there, actually.
I would say it's weird, except that I think porn gets away with like racializing things much more than like traditional media can get away with these days.
It wasn't even that it wasn't like I was offended or like feeling like I was supposed to be offended. It was more just like, is this how far like the popular culture has gotten to now? That like, I'm trying to think of any other Marvel film that could be referenced as a genre of porn, and I'm kind of coming up with a blank. And I find that
coming up.
Thank you. And I find that odd and deeply hilarious. I don't know.
I also like the article headline I read, which was that like apparently ratings have really gone up for Pornhub during the Olympics, which is either because people are like looking at these sexy, beautiful athletes and getting turned on, or they're just so bored by the Winter Olympics that they're just like, I got to beat off to.
I mean,
why not both?
After watching some figure skating, it's definitely the former.
Oh, that's okay. That was the gag, right? Yeah, okay. Because there was like, oh, ice dancers are like secretly fucking or whatever, and that's what they put on Pornhub. They put actual like ice dancer like
Did they
routines
use
on
deep
there.
fakes to make it more real?
No, but
I don't think you're allowed to use deepfakes on like the bigger porn sites.
You would say that, but
feel
I
like-
was also on a similar porn site the other day.
Cool.
Just kind
I'm
of.
glad we're allowed to talk about this in the
Yeah,
open.
this is an open space. This is a safe environment.
That's about it. I saw one that had the actress who plays Sansa Stark, and I was like, yeah, this is. And then like her face started like clipping a little bit. Like it was almost like watching like robot porn where they're projecting a human face onto their own bodies.
It feels like at any point in time it's going to turn into the fucking Ring, and like the deep fake's going to turn and stare directly at me and be like, "What are you doing, Chris?" and then come out of the fucking monitor. I don't
Have
want
you
to watch
seen
that.
the AR, the Ring thing?
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
that would be terrifying.
So how did
Yeah.
everyone feel about Black
how
Panther?
do you feel about Black Panther though? Yeah, I think we all liked it, right?
Yeah.
I would say it's on the upper tier of Marvel films that I've seen in the last 8 to 10 years.
I personally think that it's a step back in terms of like complexity of plot in regards to Marvel movies, but in terms of like environment and setting and character development, I actually really enjoyed.
Are you basing that just compared to Thor 3?
No, I'm comparing it to like even like some of the Avengers ones, and like their Winter Soldier was really good in terms of like the espionage and shit like this, and this one was just like, hey, a dude that's like you popped up and wants to kill you.
I think you're forgetting the first third. That is basically a James Bond movie. There's even like a Q thing going on.
I guess
I
but
did get some really good James Bond vibes out of that, especially when they're in the shiesty fake Hong Kong gambling den.
It was in Korea.
It was in Korea.
Racist.
What did I say?
Hong Kong.
yeah,
Fuck.
that's not a Korean town.
They do mention later that there is going to be an attack in Hong Kong, but
Yeah.
it never happens. So
But
Yeah,
like,
that's exactly why I was making that mistake. Thank you. Thank you for
I saved you.
Yeah,
You're
you
welcome.
saved me.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
once again.
it was kind of weird though, because I feel like this was the first time we've seen a character that's all. I don't know. I guess Spider-Man. So this and Spider-Man are the first time that a character was introduced in an ensemble cast and then given their own initial movie, and neither of them were really like beginner stories or anything like that. It wasn't them getting their power other than like the old lore of the Black Panther.
Which, thank Christ, I don't want
Yeah.
another. I don't want the. I mean, like, granted, in Black Panther, the first 40 minutes is kind of expository. It is sort of setting up Wakanda and sort of setting up, I guess, like the politics as they stand before everything kind of falters and changes as the plot
That
develops.
was like my favorite part of it.
I
Yeah.
enjoyed that.
Yeah, I agree on that.
But I mean, like, it was like the Wakanda origin story more so than it was Black Panther's origin story.
Yeah, that's true.
Which I thought was good, because if you compare it to like Thor, for example, like the first two or whatever, like we go to, is it Asgard?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even remember the name. Like it's like,
Asslands.
Dear people, Dave, you should know this.
yeah, but it's like a really like silly interpretation of my people. I'm not in love with Vikings and Norse mythology either. And like one thing is that like there were so many characters in Black Panther, but they were a lot more memorable and like had more like most of them had more meaningful roles than like anything that happens in Thor. Like Thor has a whole like entourage of people that I don't even remember their names or
Oh,
like what
yeah.
they look like.
Which is funny because in Ragnarok,
They
like,
just get owned immediately.
yeah, it's like you don't
Oh, do
even
they?
need to be reintroduced to these jobbers because you're like, oh, it's barbarian dwarf guy. It's
Yeah.
like Asian stereotype with a mace. It's girl. And then they all just get got by Hela almost immediately.
That was my favorite Nordic character, girl.
yeah, basically.
Remember the non-controversy about Idris Elba being like in Thor, and like what if they had done that in Black Panther? Just had like a white guy play some role for no reason.
Oh, that
They
was
did have
great.
that. His name was Martin Freeman.
Yeah, we'll get to him maybe in a second.
He was like the cool black character. It was an inversion.
I know we've heard this joke a million times, but I did like the one that basically said that the two white people were from Lord of the Rings, so they were the Tolkien white people.
Wait,
But,
who was the other white person? Andy
Smeagol.
Yeah.
Circus.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Gollum.
That guy fucking sucks, man. Like I don't like that dude in
Andy Serkis?
almost anything except for maybe Lord of the Rings, but like
You don't like him as a monkey?
no, and I hate this character Ulysses Claw. I was pretty I mean, spoiler territory, everybody, but like I was pretty glad that he got offed. Like,
I mean, to be fair, I feel like that was his entire role in this. I know he was in Age of Ultron for a hot second, but Claw's entire point was to just be kind of loud and shitty, and then to get popped. And like, not even just for like the plot's sake. I feel like it was sort of just like for the audience's enjoyment.
It was
like,
for accurate representation of a South African.
yeah,
terrible, just outright awful. The only thing worse than an Aussie.
I made the quip of Norris when we were leaving something. I don't know. I was like, yeah, you know, like Andy Serkis was only moderately more evil than an average South African man. We're really going hard on these colonials.
Where's the lie?
Tonight, huh?
Where's the lie?
He was kind of like, he was a good comparison against Killmonger, because like you hear the name Killmonger and you're like, oh, is this psychotic, like massive asshole who just shoots anything? And like compared to Andy Serkis's character, like Killmonger's like a highly trained special ops guy in terms of like how he interacts with any combat situation.
But that being said, I kind of wish that Killmonger had been introduced more as a mercenary rather than like in a heist, which is how he's introduced. Like, I do like that little like interchange between him and the like snooty British like museum curator.
I liked that scene a lot. I thought that was a like. I don't know if that's the best way to introduce Killmonger as a character, but I liked that little like skit from beginning to end of them like robbing the Wakandan artifact and then getting out of there, kind of like Baby Driver style. Like it was neat.
I liked it, but I don't think it really matches like his character background. That's the only thing.
Oh, are you comparing it to like the comic books? Because I have no idea.
The only Black Panther I've read was like the first issue of the Ta-Nehisi Coates run that he's working on or has finished, and that was a little too serious for my taste. But anyway.
Like Killmonger,
who would have guessed?
I know, right? Surprised me not.
But like Killmonger did become like a Wakandan historian basically because he read that book from his dad and he wanted to learn as much as possible so that when he showed up he could be king basically and flip the system. So it made sense. It was like showing that he was knowledgeable about Wakanda without being one of the like pretentious assholes who actually lives there.
Yeah, but also like his like origin is that he like his dad was killed. He has this like kind of like bloodlust in him, and then he becomes a mercenary and racks up kills. And like to then just go from that to be like, oh, I'm a interested art critic who wants to see some African art.
It was weird. It felt at times like there were like multiple interpretations of the Killmonger they wanted to show. There was the Killmonger I liked, and there was the Killmonger that they needed to be a villain in order for this to be a suitable foil for the main character.
Yeah, first act Killmonger and third act Killmonger.
Yeah.
So like it was good until third act Killmonger came in and was like, actually just kill everyone.
Yeah, I actually think we should just try to murder everybody. Which I mean, like, he's got some points, to be fair.
You know what is an underexplored angle on Killmonger is you know how he has like the female accomplice in the beginning of the movie?
Oh
yeah.
I like the idea that like Killmonger is just so irresistibly sexy that like girls are just willing to die for him. Like I like that idea, and I wish they had done more of that.
So like James Bond.
Yeah.
He's the Wakandan James Bond.
Yeah, and Michael B. Jordan is much sexier than Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, most
Gotta say that.
Yeah, I'll agree to that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Have any of you guys seen Creed?
No.
No, but I do know that shares Michael B. Jordan as a actor.
And the director as well.
Yeah, the same directors.
Whoa.
Have you guys seen?
Oh, no
Ryan
shit.
Coogler?
Yeah,
Oh.
Ryan Coogler. It is an excellent movie. Like even if you're not into like boxing or whatever, like or even Rocky.
Right,
Like,
it's barely a Rocky sequel, I've heard.
yeah,
right?
well, like Rocky is there.
Okay.
But it is way more about Creed. That's why it's called Creed.
Yeah. I do
and
love...
it is a really amazing movie. Like, and it totally makes sense that he got this movie. Like, he got to make Black Panther because of Creed.
Because of Creed, yeah.
Yeah. So, I highly recommend it if anyone wants to
I will put it to the
see
list.
more of it.
Also, if you want to watch Michael B. Jordan in the opposite direction, go watch Fantastic Four.
Oh,
he plays the Human Torch.
Yeah, the flaming guy.
right. Yeah,
he looks
was
so
in
much
that.
younger in that one, too. I guess it was a few years ago, but like...
Yeah, they probably also made him up to look like the annoying teen character that he's supposed to be.
That was like one of the worst superhero movies I've ever seen.
Talking about the wig work was great. It was fantastic.
It was interesting because the other Human Torch grew up to be Captain America. So they both spent time on fire.
Well, literally everybody is doubling down because, like, I mean, Josh Brolin is in 2 movies coming out this year with Marvel properties, and he's playing Cable and Thanos.
And
like
Ryan Reynolds was Green Lantern, and now but that's Marvel. That's DC to Marvel, isn't it?
yeah, Green Lantern's DC. Yeah.
Listen, because of this overabundance of superhero bullshit movies, every single actor you've ever known in anything, every single actor, the entire cast of Downton Abbey at some point in time will be a character in a Marvel film. Gotta get that money. Gotta chase that paper.
By the way, I don't know if this was the same for your guys' movie because I saw it separately from you guys, but the trailers before Black Panther, they had the Deadpool one where there's a whole gag where Deadpool is like, oh, the special effects aren't finished. And then he says like, you know, it's just a metal arm. We're not talking about removing a mustache, which is a jab at Justice League.
Yeah.
And then directly after that trailer was the next Mission Impossible movie with motherfucking Superman with the mustache in it.
Holy shit. Okay, we saw different ones because we saw Ant-Man and the Wasp, which does not look good. And then
he's right. It did not look good.
I think it looks enjoyable.
I kind of thought it looked okay. I don't know.
I mean, like It looked not great in the way that the Ant-Man trailer looked not great, so maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised, because Ant-Man still remains one of those, like, delightful surprises that these fucking Marvel films gave me.
Is it the girl from Lost, or is it, what's her name?
Evangeline Lilly, yes.
Okay, not Monaghan, whatever her name is.
I don't know who you're talking about, but no.
Kylie Monaghan?
The one from Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Right, yes.
Nick.
I always get those two confused.
Can't.
Can't keep his white girls straight.
It's the Canadian girl who started off as one of the like Live Link's late night phone girls.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's Evangeline Lilly.
Yes.
I don't even remember what the other trailer was. I just remember it looked really, really bad.
Oh yeah,
Venom looks bad.
Pretty bad.
Yeah.
I don't like that trailer at all.
That's a really dumb like web forum like idea. Like, oh, well, you need to like cast a movie. Well, the only options are like Christian Bale or Tom Hardy because that's the only one internet guys like. I don't know. Venom doesn't need a movie. It's fine. It's dumb.
Yeah, You
need a Carnage movie instead. Let's get really wicked.
Yeah.
I would be more interested in a movie with all of them, like Spider-Man, Venom, Carnage, but only moderately.
We already got one we got one with Venom and Spider-Man, and it was perfect.
It was really good.
I have a soft spot for Spider-Man 3. It's like it is as dumb as comic book
train wreck
deserve.
bad. It almost does that Sam Raimi wraparound where it's like kind of good at how like
for me it
clunky and
wrapped
bad
all the
it
way
is.
around. Like when he says like how's the pie and he goes so good. Like I think about that a lot and I laugh and like it gives me joy. It in a way that like almost like none of the modern like Marvel movies really give me. Like if I were to look at say Guardians of the Galaxy 2, right? I have not a single memory that is as pure and lovely as Spider-Man 3, him eating that fucking pie.
I thought about like it's the entire montage when Tobey Maguire turns like dork evil.
Yeah, he does like a fucking jazz dance.
And he's just
so good.
Someone took that scene and removed all the music, and it's just Tobey Maguire just like clacking and sitting and like running down the street, and it's so painful. And it's beautiful.
It's all just to humiliate his ex-girlfriend, which is also
it owns. It's incredible.
There's one other character that I really liked from Black Panther, Shuri, T'Challa's sister.
I liked her a lot. She was kind of one of my favorite new characters from the film.
I liked all the supporting characters. Really good.
A lot of great actors too, like Angela Bassett, Forrest Whitaker. I complained to Kelly about how like it's weird that I don't see many movies with Forrest Whitaker using his regular accents. Like he's always doing like this African thing now.
Yeah,
I like
even in Star Wars.
I liked Forrest Whitaker. I feel like it's almost his role just to die in films now. Like I feel like as soon as I saw Forrest Whitaker, I was like, he's probably going to get got at some point in time during this, and I was not wrong.
He's basically the puppy test now. If you dare kill Forrest Whitaker, then you have to be evil.
Now make Sean Bean the white Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah, I'll agree to that.
True.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah,
I thought T'Challa's love interest wasn't particularly interesting.
You're right. Yeah,
Lupita Nyong'o.
Yeah,
She's very pretty though.
She is very pretty.
Yeah.
And I found out that she's actually like the character model for the weird little tiny alien Yoda girl from Force Awakens.
It's Kanata.
Kanata, thank you.
Yeah, you're right. And
most Kanata. Sorry.
Most famously, 12 Years a Slave, which did she win the Oscar for that?
I don't think. Ooh, let me check.
Or she was nominated at the very least.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
and then of course Michonne, who was a badass general of the all-female army.
Yeah, she was cool. I like that character a lot. The guy, I'm so bad with any actors' names. I hope
the guy from Get Out.
The guy from Get Out. I liked him a lot.
That's how I refer to him as well. I'm sorry, guy from Get Out.
Daniel Alejo. Not Alejo. Fuck. I know it's Daniel.
I just liked their Reinhardt style cape shields.
Kaluuya. Fuck me.
Kaluuya.
God damn.
That's all right,
Kaluuya, yeah.
We're all bad at this. We mean well. We're trying.
I mentioned this fan theory to you guys, and I thought it was stupid when I said it, but then you inspired me to think it's better. Since I just said her name, T'Challa's sister, Shuri, since she's basically like non-superpowered tech genius, and the current Iron Man in the comics is a black woman, I almost thought it would be really cool in like Infinity War if her and Tony Stark had been like hanging out for a while, and then like Tony dies and she becomes the new Iron Man. I think that would be like a really cool way of introducing.
I would be totally in for that. For two reasons. One, I like the idea of Marvel being willing to actually like take the risks that they've taken in the comic books for like new revitalizations of some of the main characters, even though the alt-right chuds hate it.
So it's really easy to dismiss this as like as something that like a certain section of people on the internet don't like, but those comics aren't particularly well known or popular. That's just the end of it.
But it's the MCU. They have way more opportunity to do stuff like this and not have it pushed under the rug, because like with comics, you get a sleeve every 2 hours and you can just disregard those copies. But with the MCU, like it's out there, like people are watching them.
And this idea also goes to the bigger thing I've been saying, both I think on this podcast and just in private for the last little while, is when these Infinity fucking films come out, if it doesn't end in a goddamn bloodbath, like a decimation, every third superhero getting the fucking bullet, then it's a bad film. Like there needs to be just a wasteland of hero corpses.
Norris, it is going to be a bad film.
Fucking
has it been confirmed that nobody dies?
Oh, I don't care. It's going to be like, look, you can't. Okay,
go off, King.
It is incredible that this movie got made. I feel like it is a one-off where they did something really risky and it worked. Mm-hmm. Right? That is not the norm for these people, and it's not like if you expect anything from Infinity War that is going to be transgressive and daring.
Oh, I'm not expecting transgressive or daring. I'm not even expecting really anything that great. I'm just saying, based on like the weight of their own overarching fucking plot, if they don't fucking cut down the tall trees pretty soon, then like it's going to just be like too many fucking characters.
They're gonna retire.
That's more likely.
If that sucks, that's lame. That's boring.
These are movies for children.
But
these are movies for children.
Listen, everyone is a child now, Matt. I don't know if you've looked around.
Right.
Look, these kids are on Pornhub. They know what's up. So
exactly.
Yeah, they're watching the Wakanda porn. Like, again, you're right. Like, all films are for children, but now everyone is a child.
No, I'm not saying all movies are for children. I'm saying these movies are for children.
And everyone is a child now.
Okay.
I mean, I would argue that the ensemble ones are more for children than the other ones. Like, Winter Soldier has some pretty heady concepts that I don't think kids are really paying attention to.
And also the non-ensemble ones are mostly boring and suck. Like, I mean, that's just kind of how I feel.
You haven't seen Ragnarok yet. You can't talk.
People keep telling me Thor 3 is good. I'll eventually see it.
It is actually good. I'm with Kelly on this one. I know it's crazy that I keep on saying like all of these movies are so shitty, and I truly believe it in my core, right? But I think I've actually seen all of them. So I feel like I am an authority to tell you which ones are bad. Almost all of them, except for Thor 3 and this Black Panther one.
Does anyone else feel sort of a Disneyfication happening?
Yes.
I mean, I basically think the entire like coronation ceremony from the beginning of Black Panther, you could have animated that entire thing and it would have fit in almost any Disney movie.
There were moments during Black Panther, and like I didn't actually say this out loud because I was worried I was going to sound like an asshole, but like someone else who I saw the movie with said it to me, and they're like, did parts of that movie kind of feel like The Lion King to you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Forrest Whitaker literally draws like some paint on T'Challa's face, and then T'Challa goes and talks to his ghost dad. So
yeah, that feels very Lion King.
And then he's got uncle issues.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it was getting us ready for The Lion King because they're remaking that.
It's more of a Hamlet thing then. That's what this is.
Everything's just comes down to 3 stories.
Yeah.
So a couple criticisms maybe of Black Panther. The guy from Get Out, I'm sorry, I still didn't learn his name.
Daniel Kaluuya.
Yeah,
Fuck. Kaluuya. Fuck. God damn it.
Can we all practice this?
I'm so sorry.
Danny Kaluuya?
Kaluuya.
Daniel Kaluuya.
He's given like the worst line in the entire script, which is where, well, first of all, like Black Panther is being convinced by Nakia, who is his girlfriend or ex-girlfriend, that they should open up Wakanda to the rest of the world, which I think is a very strange conclusion for a spy to come to, because the whole thing is like going to the rest of the world and performing super secret op shit. So like,
he was just copying Black Widow, because that's what Black Widow did. She's like, here's everyone's information, even though I'm a spy.
Yeah, but she's kind of like, no, we need to like open Wakanda and help people, which I think is a weird conclusion.
She's more like a people's guard, kind of like she's completely ideological.
I mean, that's kind of what those, what were they called? The Warband or something like that? They're basically sent out to just keep track of the world while Wakanda operates.
Okay,
but,
I guess
yeah,
so.
I get your point.
Yeah, I get what you're saying too. And like that character, not the girlfriend, Daniel's character does not make any fucking sense at all. Like if you go scene by scene, like what he says and what his like motivations are, they just like shift all over the fucking place.
It like that entire character read to me like they needed someone from T'Challa's entourage that was a willing like co-conspirator, I guess, with Michael B. Jordan.
But the way that they kind of like introduce that part of his character is him saying the line, like when they're talking about whether they should allow refugees into Wakanda, and he says, well, refugees bring their own problems. And then that goes completely unchallenged by anybody.
Yeah, that felt bad. I didn't like that.
And like, it's weird because that's not like a really legitimate argument in any way.
I mean, T'Challa,
not logical, but
T'Challa, as like noble as he was trying to seem, did believe that as well. Like his thought was, let's not bring people in. Let's not even like really talk to anyone else until like shit started to go down, and he's like, oh, maybe that is a good idea.
T'Challa should have been the one, because he was also like the new king. He should have been the one, I think, introducing the idea of opening up Wakanda, because he does ops with the Avengers in other countries and shit, right? Like I think it should have come from him instead of like him like reluctantly or kind of hem-hawing about it. Like
it kind of felt like it wasn't until Killmonger showed up, who again, like as Matt said, and as I will agree, up until like the last minute that you hear an actual thing from Killmonger, I kind of agreed with Killmonger. His idea was just like, no, this place could like do a lot of good and save a lot of people. Let's fucking like open the borders, let people know what we have, and then fucking kill them. That was his last bit, which I don't agree to that platform.
He's like, let's really show our technology. Let's help everyone out. See who there are. Arm our brothers. Get them to kill everyone who's not black. And then we're like, wait a minute. That doesn't seem right.
Yeah, I mean, like, he's not entirely wrong. I get
no, yeah. Within our universe, yeah, that's true. But I feel like Wakanda should probably try to be like an advocate for technology, which is like what T'Challa ended up being. Like, he's like, okay, let's show our technology, but let's also like train them and inform them of what it's used for.
Just like Saudi Arabia. Take a quick look. Just take a look at what Saudi Arabia is doing and see if you can tell if there's any difference between what was going on in Wakanda and Saudi Arabia.
Now, the really sad thing is that when countries talk about reaching out to the world, it is much closer to Killmonger's image than it is to Nakia's. I also, what did I think about Killmonger? I know I am sympathetic to him to a certain extent. I also think that he didn't really do anything wrong. Like, he actually like succeeded the throne under their stupid rules and like coronation ceremony and all that. And then he didn't actually do anything evil except for kill an evil. Well, he didn't kill anybody evil, really. Or anyone good, I mean.
Like, there was one loophole where T'Challa's like, technically I didn't tap out, and you didn't kill me, so
he said, Whitey's be tripping, and then he sent all the bad planes away.
Yeah, he murdered Forrest Whitaker, probably not a great thing, and then he burned all the superpower plants, which didn't even make any sense to me.
But he
no, it actually makes complete sense. Like, if you go off of like how do like kingdoms actually work, you want to kick out the ladder right from like because if they actually burnt all the plants and there wasn't a spy there grabbing it, like, he absolutely would have won.
Yeah,
right? It makes total fucking sense.
And then you're right. And then the monarchy ends with him, which means there'll be another revolution later. Right. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. But other than that, he promised to destroy the world, and apparently his ideas were so toxic that they had to kill him.
It wasn't that he promised to destroy the world. He just wanted black people to have more power.
Yeah, and to overthrow oppressors and become the dominant, like...
Yeah, it was less that he wanted to, like, cause chaos and have more control, I guess. like his ideas were very radicalistic. They even call him a radical in the movie. And like, yeah, I don't know. T'Challa was kind of a chump up until somebody else stepped on the throne and did what he didn't do.
Well, T'Challa's like program is I'm opening a planetarium.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like, you saved the community center. Thanks, T'Challa.
Great, thanks.
And then he had his Iron Man ending where he's like, goes up on the thing and he's like, hey, you guys know Wakanda? We're going to help all of you guys. And they're like, what?
And then a white guy interrupts him as he's talking at the UN. Thank you.
Oh, actually, that was an awesome part. There's a part when they have to go to the other tribe who doesn't believe in technology.
That
and
was
like,
a totally loose thread that nowhere I felt.
But like Martin Freeman steps up and the main guy is like, you're not allowed to talk here. And then Martin Freeman's like, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That was great.
That was pretty
fucking
good.
hate Martin Freeman so fucking much.
I'm not a big fan of Martin Freeman, but like we talked about this a couple days in a row now. I am impressed by your vitriol towards Mr. Freeman.
He's just not good. I don't know anybody who likes him or is excited to see him in a movie. And like,
he was captivating as the male porn character in that Christmas movie.
What?
Fuck.
Yeah, good pull
God
there.
damn it.
Love
Actually. Thank you.
I mean, he was a good Bilbo, because that was Bilbo's whole thing, is I'm just going to be a Debbie Downer the entire time.
I mean, he spent most of his like career just being like a 2-for-1 special of Benedict Cumberbatch. Like, you get the one of them, you get him for free. Like, I mean, and I just don't see the appeal. I don't think he's particularly charismatic, and he's gotten in trouble for saying racist shit in the past. So it's like, what is he doing in this movie? As a CIA agent,
yeah, let's talk about that for a minute.
By the way,
I'm again like,
the
let's
real
bring
heroes.
politics.
The real heroes.
Great ally of African nations, the CIA.
Yeah, it's completely and utterly believable that the CIA agent on the ground in Wakanda is like going to make sure that this despotic overthrow doesn't occur in this African nation with someone who is, by the way, explained to have CIA training.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that
Well, it
Marvel's...
does make sense that a CIA trained guy would come back to his own country and then overthrow it. Like,
well, I mean, that tracks. That definitely tracks. I'm just saying that, like,
wasn't he buying vibranium from fucking Claw in the beginning? Like,
yeah,
what was that all
catch him
about?
or something? I don't know.
No, it was, they just buy vibranium. How do you think Captain America's shield got fucking made? They bought conflict vibranium.
But that was
from
supposed
someone
to be
bringing
the
it out of
only
Wakanda.
vibranium, because back in the 60s, this shield, we were so patriotic that we used the only vibranium in the entire fucking world to make our symbol for this buff man.
Kelly, what decade do you think World War II happened in?
I don't know.
You get one more try.
ooh. Oh, buddy.
40s.
There we go.
There we go, buddy.
Got it in 2. Perfect.
Although, according to the Infinity War trailers, he just gets another shield, which is, I think, developed by Shuri.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's exciting.
Black Panther also had the worst stinger of any of the Marvel films, which is just like Bucky coming out of a hut and being like, I'm here.
Who cares?
Yeah, that's how I kind of feel.
We kind of figured that would happen. We didn't think he was just going to be frozen for another century.
I would have loved fat Captain America. Like, he just let himself go while waiting for Infinity War.
Hell yeah.
Or like decadent Bucky. He's just sitting in a throne with a bunch of people fanning him, giving him grapes.
That's cool.
That'd be a bad look.
Here's a question for all of you. Just quick poll around the room.
Mm-hmm.
I'm biased, I know. Which is a better movie, Black Panther or Blade?
Which Blade?
I haven't
Blade
seen.
1.
I haven't
Blade
seen.
or Blade 2?
Yeah.
Okay, not Blade 3.
Not Blade 3. It's out of contention.
I haven't seen Blade 1 in a long time. I feel like I need to give that one a refresh. But
You should definitely give it a refresh.
I haven't seen Blade in general.
I think I like Wesley Snipes more than a lot of actors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's kind of like it's hard to compare the two, is it not? Though, because we're talking about a verified classic B movie with an attempt at a like true AAA blockbuster. Because I like them a lot for different reasons.
I guess what I'm saying is I really wish we could go back to a time when like comic book movies were allowed to be goofy.
Yeah.
And I just want to watch a Blackula Hunter. Like, that's all I want. I fucking love Blade so much.
It
It's
is
fucking
kind of
awesome.
looking back at it like a different trajectory that comic movies could have taken.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which it didn't.
They just went. I mean, they tried. Like, then they got into Eon Flux and that other one that's just Eon Flux with black instead of white.
Ultraviolet?
That's the one.
Ultraviolet, yes.
And then people were like, this is way too much. These are kind of stupid. And they're like, all right, we're going to back down and we're going to try to make something a little more serious. It's basically what happened in James Bond. Going back to James Bond.
I just, look, I know I keep on saying it, but like, I think this is 2/3 of a good movie, right? I don't know how many more of these they can make, right?
I've been saying that for so long, and I don't know. The Jenga tower hasn't toppled yet. We'll see what happens with these fucking Infinity War films.
I'm still okay with them, to be honest. I know you guys are getting like tired and bitter about them, but like,
I just want it just every superhero film comes as a stark contrast to Logan. Now that I have seen Logan, and I don't know. I want something that kind of like that looks at the form of superhero films and tries to do something new and different with it.
But you got Logan. It doesn't mean that they're not going to try those anymore. It just means that they're going to keep making these ones, and occasionally you'll get another Logan.
Yeah, I want more Logans. I want more Dreads. Like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That stuff is cool, I think.
Yeah, what did the guy who directed Red? What is he up to now? He was doing something else.
Annihilation, didn't he? Or is that different?
No, that's Alex Garland. He did Ex Machina.
Ex Machina. That's right. Okay.
By the way, that movie looks great.
Annihilation, I've heard only good things.
Yeah.
I just think like we've always had these like blockbuster movies. Like there were 12 Friday the 13th, and they all released like one after another each year.
Yeah, but like most of those were like fucking direct to video, weren't they?
No, they were all like summer blockbuster movies that you would go to and just eat some popcorn and make out with your girlfriend in the theater.
But I feel like you could do that in a time when movies didn't cost 9 digits to make.
Yeah, that's the problem now, is that it costs like $20 to go watch them, and it costs $15 billion to make them.
Also, I feel like people aren't like so fucking serious about the fucking Friday the 13th movies that they are about these superhero movies.
Yeah.
The nerd dollar is a heavy, angry dollar.
Yeah.
Anything else you guys want to talk about Black Panther? So like somewhat divided, but like good film. If you like the Marvel stuff, you will like this.
Yeah, I don't regret seeing it at all. I just had some criticisms about it. Who's left in the Marvel roster that they could possibly make into a main character who hasn't already gotten a movie or
everyone keeps
Netflix
saying
special?
Everyone keeps saying Black Widow. It's weird because like I would,
because she never had a movie.
Because she never had one, and again, I very much believe that they should have some female representation. That being said, I don't think Black Widow's ever been that interesting.
I kind of think it would be.
She was actually best in Winter Soldier, and
she was good in Winter Soldier, but like that was it.
I think it would be kind of cool to get back in time Valkyrie, or even like a new Valkyrie. She was a super cool. It's from Thor. Sorry.
Oh, okay, sorry. I was like, huh?
She's a super cool character, and like I think that the history of the Valkyries is rife for like a decent movie, or even whatever she's doing after Infinity War would be a dope ass movie to watch. I don't know much about the actual comic books, so I don't know what other. I think that they should do more female characters.
Yes.
Swamp Thing is DC now.
Swamp Thing's DC.
It was probably like Image or Vertigo at one point, but
yeah. Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing. Yes.
Swamp Thing. Just do Swamp Thing.
Just do Alan. Just do those. We're all going to give Alan more heart attacks, excessive heart attacks, by making his books into movies.
Yeah. Just make Saga a movie. I don't know who owns. I don't think
Saga could ever be made a movie, but Saga could be some sort of
Netflix original.
In the next
Bring
5
back
years.
Ghost Rider. Bring back Ghost Rider.
Only if Nick Cage plays it.
Yeah, I mean, like I want to find
Ghost Rider 3.
Okay, Tom Hardy or Nick Cage? Which one do you want? You can
Nick
only
Cage.
pick one.
Oh my god!
I want to find a vehicle for Nick Cage to get into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I want that. That would be okay.
Yeah. I mean, the Grandmaster could have been Nick Cage, but I'm very happy it was Jeff Goldblum.
So here's what they do: is when Sony lets the Fantastic Four license lapse, Marvel buys it, and who do you have for Mr. Fantastic other than Nicolas Cage himself?
Or Nicolas Cage is way better than Captain Fantastic. Or Mr. Fantastic.
Mr. Fantastic, whatever his name is.
Mr. Fantastic fucking sucks, dude.
I know.
Oh, I'm a guy who stretches, so I'm smart.
That's why Nick Cage would make it so good.
How about we introduce Doctor Doom into the real MCU the way he's supposed to be, a time-traveling wizard guy?
I want.
Maybe Nick Cage could be Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
That's kind of... there was a timeline I noticed when I was like looking at like Black Panther stuff where it's like, I think it's like Doctor Doom and one other villain invade Wakanda to get the vibranium, and that looked pretty cool. I think that would be cool to see.
I mean, like in the comics, Doctor Doom is like he's basically better than like Thanos and shit in terms of like complexity and like interesting character.
Yeah, he has the best like thread of any villain I think from comics, which is that the only way for him to save the future is for him to rule the world.
Yeah.
Which I think is such a great
yeah.
conundrum.
That's a dope
Doctor
moment.
Doom is cool. Like,
Yeah.
but
It's like him and Magneto are the best Marvel villains.
Yeah. And they're not in this universe.
Killmonger is pretty good. I think if you look at filmed like Marvel villains, I think that's what makes this a good movie. Is the villain is actually quite good.
I was talking in general. If you're talking about like Marvel cinematic villains, there's like Loki, then there's Killmonger, and I'm sure there's one more I'm not remembering. But yeah, not much.
If you're going like deeper than just the movies, like Kingpin's a really interesting character. Kilgrave also really interesting character.
Which one is Kilgrave?
He's
Kilgrave
the
is the
Jessica
doctor.
Jones one.
Oh, him. Yeah, he's actually better than Jessica Jones.
It's weird. Like Kingpin is almost introduced in a similar way that Killmonger was. Is that like they have an intellectual side, but then they also have like a murderous kill side, and I think Kingpin did that better. Where he's like an intellectual, manipulative guy, but then also freaks out and punches people to death.
I like all the villains from Punisher, like the New York Police Department, and, the Federal Bureau of Investigation,
the DA.
It'd be cool to do like a history of violence, but with like the Vision.
Ooh, Vision is way cooler than he
is in the movie.
He's not that cool in the movies.
No.
Yeah.
And he's looks like a human in Infinity Wars. That's interesting.
I mean, but I like Villain much. Sorry, what's his name?
Vision.
I like Vision much better than I like a lot of the characters that get too much screen time, like Scarlet Witch and Arrow Man. You know?
Yeah.
Like, who cares?
Yeah.
Also, don't we kind of know that Vision's going to die? Because I'm pretty sure Thanos is going to take that glowy jewel out of his forehead.
I mean,
you could always bring him back. Like, that's the thing about comic books is you can always bring anyone back.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? So it makes sense that you could also do that with movies. So there's really no stakes at all.
I remember when Superman died, and then he came out without a mustache on. Disappointing.
Was that what happens in Justice League?
Yeah,
I don't even remember.
He comes back without a mustache on.
I'm totally over the DC universe. By the way, I'm never going to see another one of those movies. And
You fuck that. $10. You totally will. I deride your puritanical anti-DC film statement here. We're gonna get drunk and we're gonna go see one of those films when they fucking come out.
Like the only one I could imagine seeing is like Wonder Woman 2, and I would still want to wait for reviews first. And what, Aquaman? No, I don't think it's gonna be good.
I mean, there's gonna be like an Infinity War with Doomsday, isn't there?
And it's gonna be bad.
Where the whole ensemble puts on bigger armor and goes fight.
Oh, you mean
Darkseid.
Darkseid. They already killed Doomsday. Were you not paying attention?
No.
Yeah, he was a weird goopy guy, right?
Sure. Let's change the topic from films to video game films. Guys, I got something I want to tell you guys about.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
This is an article that came out of Polygon as of today. Or
Polygon.com?
actually no, this came out about 4 or 5 days ago.
On the
Sonic the Hedgehog film is now dated for November 2019.
Right.
A live-action Sonic the Hedgehog film.
Yes, Sonic the Hedgehog will star in a feature film set to debut next year, according to franchise publisher Sega, with producing partner Paramount Pictures, set for November 15th, 2019.
Now, is this setting up the universe where Garfield is a space commander and he hires Sonic as one of his top generals to fight a space war?
Yeah, this is the one where he's also pregnant.
Okay, cool. Him and Shadow, right?
Yeah.
Good. I thought they were the true end game. They keep hinting Rose and Sonic, but Shadow and Sonic are end game.
What is that called? That thing where they just make like male characters pregnant?
Oh fuck.
Mpreg.
Mpreg?
Mpreg. Yeah.
You're right.
We've talked about this before on this podcast.
We have.
But or is it directly off the heels of Sonic Dream Collections?
I don't know what that is.
Really?
No, dude. You're the only one young enough to be a Sonic boy here.
Sonic Dream Collections was like
an I.
2013. We're gonna play that sometime.
Shout out to Pizza Pants, our number one Sonic boy.
Yeah. Shut up.
Yeah,
Good shout out.
Yeah, no, Pizza Pants, you rule. Sonic, I don't know, man. I don't know about Sonic. God damn it. So Deadpool director Tim Miller is signed on executive producer, which means nothing.
It means he's going to make money.
The actual director for this is a guy who did an Oscar-nominated short called Go for Broke, a guy by the name of Jeff Fowler.
Is it animated or live action?
It's a little bit of both. People are saying it's basically... So have you seen the trailer for Detective Pikachu, David?
Yeah.
No.
Why not? What's wrong with you?
What am I supposed to say?
You are a member of the people who comment on things on the internet. You should have seen the
everybody
trailer.
is in that group that you just described.
I know.
Yeah.
And everyone has seen the trailer for Detective Pikachu.
I've no idea.
Don't worry, Dave. It's a Pikachu's wearing like a Sherlock Holmes hat and he talks, which is the special thing.
Is this dark Pikachu? Is this like drunk Pikachu?
Well, he's not drunk. Well, he might smoke opium. Like we don't know.
Ooh.
But
that are pretty cool.
Like, yeah, I think he just solves crimes.
A Pokemon opium den where adult human women prepare opium pipes for tiny animals.
Oh, Sonic Underground.
That
Hell
sounds
yeah.
great. Just a angry, fented up Pikachu sounds okay to me. Anyways, this Sonic film is supposed to be in the same vein as that. So it's a mixture of both live action footage and computer generated animation. Nope, nothing else interesting on this article other than those things themselves. So we're gonna get Sonic kissing a real girl in 2019. How do y'all feel about it?
We already got that. in
No, we
2010.
got Sonic kissing a real CGI
Fake
girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fake gamer girl.
Good, it's good enough for me.
Nobody's jumping on Kelly on how much he's outing his Sonic love right now.
Well, there's
Okay.
nothing wrong with being passionate about your hobbies.
Did you guys ever? Do you guys watch Matthew Matosis at all?
I don't know what that is.
No.
He's a YouTube reviewer that does a bunch of game stuff. He was on hiatus for a while. He just recently came back and he did a full analysis on Sonic Dream Collections, which is basically a avant-garde interpretation of Sonic fetishism.
Ooh.
And he basically came to the conclusion that the reason that Sonic fetishing is so prevalent is because it hit on a certain demographic of youth that was just discovering their sexuality, presented in a means that they could imitate. So a lot of like Sonic's characters are just like recolors of other characters and shit, which inspired people to create their own OCs, which created people like becoming emotionally connected to those characters and then inevitably having them fuck in weird ways, interesting ways. And he pointed out that like years before, he can definitely guarantee that during the Middle Ages, nobody was masturbating to a cartoon hedgehog. And because that exists now, it's unlocking more fetishes than have ever existed before.
Okay, but counterpoint, people in the Middle Ages were fucking actual animals, right? Like they were not
Hell yeah,
beyond
dude.
that.
Yeah.
It was great.
Well, boring shit. They weren't getting the male
Pedestrian,
sheep
yeah.
pregnant. Anyways, it was a really good analysis on Sonic fetish.
I'm just saying, David, when VR gets good the way I want it to get good, you will be able to fuck all of the virtual animals.
And Sonic characters.
All the virtual animals.
I mean, they don't have souls, so you could just get started right now. I mean, like,
Neither do I, David. Neither do I.
so Kelly, like, is the Venn diagram for like furries and Sonic fans, like, is there an intersection, or are they mostly the same, or are they totally different? Like,
I don't want to speak for furry culture because I'm not part of it, but I imagine
Okay.
that there's got to be a crossover.
yeah, I guess so. I mean, they're bipedal animals or whatever. Right?
Yeah.
So,
But you know that there's probably also the like alt sides of each, where people who fetishize Sonic characters and people who fetishize furries are just like at war with each other.
which one has more Nazis involved?
Like-
Definitely furries.
Yeah, furries have a shocking number of Nazis.
Nazi
You've read those
furries, yeah.
articles too.
But also a lot. I know, like, okay, I don't know
I
what
think
my
Sonic
sample
is too
size
rad for fascism.
Yeah, you're right.
Like you never see Hitler just like tapping his foot on the ground and going
But there are a number of very good Twitter profiles that just explain how much Sonic hates hip hop.
Ooh.
So there is that counterpoint.
That's definitely not true because he was in Sonic Underground, and I'm pretty sure hip hop existed in that world.
Yeah, I will cut off a toe if Sonic has not rapped at some point in these games or media. Like, it's just impossible. I would actually really like a Mega Man movie in the style of Big Hero 6 because I quite enjoyed Big Hero 6.
What's that movie coming out based on the anime with the girl with the creepy Uncanny Valley face? Felt like the giant eyes.
You're saying a lot over there, dude.
No.
I actually think I know what you're talking about, but I don't. The name was really basic. I don't.
It's got the guy from Hateful Eight and Inglourious Bastards.
Quentin Tarantino?
No, the cool guy, the Nazi leader in Inglourious Bastards.
Waltz, Christoph Waltz.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, this is going to bring up nothing for me. I put anime girl real world film, and I just got a whole bunch of
Look up
trash.
Chris-
So
Christoph Waltz, IMDb.
Yeah, do that one. But
Okay.
anyways, the idea is that he finds this robot girl in in a junkyard and like enhances her to become a warrior princess kind of.
Did see that trailer, yeah.
Alita, Battle Angel.
Yeah. So I think if you're ever gonna get a Mega Man movie,
The anime sequel to Lolita.
if you're ever gonna get a Mega Man movie, it's gonna be a real world chubby white guy building a robot that is a weird uncanny valley CGI boy.
It must be so good to have like a critically acclaimed Oscar nominated performance in a cool movie and then just be able to make garbage the rest of your life and make millions of dollars off it.
Yeah, like John C. Reilly. Like,
yeah.
John C. Reilly has been in so many fucking Oscar movies, and then he also gets to play like a fucking mentally retarded man for Adult Swim whenever he feels like it.
This is true.
Like, it's incredible that that's his life.
Yeah, it is really cool.
And he chose it too. Like, it's not like he needs the money. He doesn't need to be Steve Brule. He just is.
It's a calling.
Yeah.
Man. It's a passion.
It's incredible.
I mean, I think even a lot of like Paul Thomas Anderson alum, like Mark Wahlberg has never made a good movie after Boogie Nights, right?
Apparently, Mark Wahlberg hates Boogie Nights.
Because he's really
because Mark Wahlberg's
he's
so
fucking
dick. He's an
stupid.
asshole. He's a bad person.
He's really self-conscious about like not
His
being
tiny
seen.
dick.
Yeah, or like not being seen as smart because like that was I read like a great article about making a Boogie Nights, and that was apparently the first thing he asked when they wanted to cast him. Is like, is this because of my Calvin Klein ads, like my modeling? Is that why you want me in this movie?
Such a fucking townie. God damn it.
Yeah,
we're running a little bit long, so I'm gonna cut one of the other articles I want to bring up here. Do you guys want to talk about something about Metal Gear? Do you guys want to talk about the government?
Anything else?
Trying to get involved?
Let's do that.
You guys want to talk about? New ESRB ratings?
Yeah, that sounds interesting.
Is it interesting?
It was people were freaking out about it today.
S for sexy or what?
It's just microtransactions,
yeah,
right?
ESRB flagging games with in-game purchases via new label. So basically, all games that have microtransactions are now being labeled by it, but everyone's pissed off about it because they're doing it the poor ESRB way, and that anything that has any sort of purchases, including like downloadable content, add-ons, expansions, will get this same label. So everything is going to get this label, and
so then it doesn't matter.
And this does nothing.
Yeah, it'll just be like the App Store.
Yeah. This wasn't that interesting. You guys don't get all. Are you guys enraged about microtransactions?
I think it'll just become a label that everyone ignores because like everything's got DLC, from like avatar packs to themes to the loot boxes that they're trying to cover up.
I would argue that even important labels are ignored most often.
Yeah, no smoking labels.
Poisonous, explosive, like all of them. Like, who gives a fuck?
The spot on the kid's head you're not supposed to poke really hard. Everyone ignores those.
A label for that?
Babies have labels?
I would imagine in a book somewhere it says
no labels.
This is the part.
Well, books say all sorts of things. All right, good. My plan worked. We're going to talk about this Metal Gear thing and we're going to cap it off.
Fuck me.
Metal Gear Survive is already fucking with the ghost of the Metal Gear franchise. So say you have a Metal Gear Survive character. Say you don't like that character. Something bad happens to it. You want to start a new save. Guess how much money Konami is charging you to start a new save in a game you bought?
$10.
$10.
I can see the headline. So
I know.
It's not a very.
I'm aware
wasn't a very
of that.
hard game for me.
It wasn't that surprising.
I'm very smart.
Wait, can you not delete your existing character and start anew?
From IGN, each new character you create in Metal Gear Survive will cost $10 if you don't want to delete your... Okay, you can have one at a time. There you go. I guess I was improper there. I've said the wrong thing. You can have one character and then delete him and make that same character. But God forbid you want two characters. Extra $10, please. $10. Thank you very much.
That's a very Japanese thing, because a lot of... I mean, that's a very
Konami thing specifically.
No. It's a free-to-play Japanese thing, because I used to play a lot of free-to-play MMOs that were made in Japan because I was a cheap boy and didn't want to pay for WoW anymore.
Yeah.
And like the idea that you can have one or two characters and then have to pay for the slots is a very bad free-to-play Japanese MMO thing. So it's kind of not surprising that Konami would do that, since they seem to be targeting that market recently.
And considering all of the hubbub I'm hearing coming out from Metal Gear Survive, which is like predominantly bad, it's mostly people saying it is definitely Konami taking a very good engine and making a very bad game with it. It doesn't surprise me that they have this fucked up tie-in involved where if, say, you or your partner want to play this game for some reason, you're going to have to charge an extra $10 for it.
Yeah. And I've heard very bad things about the single player, but I've heard that if you beat that single player, the game kind of gets more fun.
I don't need that in my life.
That seems like a trap.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, to be honest, I wasn't really going to play this game.
I was thinking there was a minute there where I thought maybe this will be okay, and
Why?
maybe because I have brain worms. You know this about me. I'm dumb. I'm a dumb person. I'm convinced by fucking Metal Gear games that they're actually kind of good.
I mean, I did play the multiplayer when the first beta came out, and it wasn't terrible, which I think was a misnomer. And I kind of inspired you to make you think that the things we didn't know about the game were going to be better, but we were wrong.
Well, you guys are actually gonna have to buy it for the marathon, right? Because you're gonna end up.
Listen, we have not yet had our first annual meeting to figure out what the fuck we're gonna do for the Metal Gear marathon. It might end up we're just gonna play fucking nothing.
Why don't you guys just do Final Fantasy instead?
I don't know. Nothing's off the table. I'll just put it that way.
My hat's still in for Resident Evil. Just gonna say.
Boy, which has more good games, Resident Evil or Final Fantasy?
They have
Final
shorter
Fantasy.
games. You can get through Resident Evil games in less than 2 days.
Well, that would make it an actual marathon, is if you like actually did Final Fantasy games.
Nothing is more fun than one person staring blue-eyed at a screen for
I would play all of
16
Final
hours.
Fantasy VIII though, if that was what you wanted me to do.
That would be your game, wouldn't
Yeah,
it?
it would be my
I
game.
was watching someone. Oh my God. So I was watching a speed run of Final Fantasy X Nemesis Percent, which is like a 25-hour long speed run.
Good God.
Yeah, not like all of it, obviously, but just like clicking through and seeing like it's like so clear at the end of it. Like that guy is so tired. Like he just wants to stop.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You need to go watch Bill play Acid, and then you'll see the same
Yeah.
thing in one of your friends' eyes.
Yeah, that was actually a lot of fun. We were talking about this when we had the Alberta podcast guys on a while back. There's a really good documentary that's on Netflix about the record holder for the game Snake, the arcade game, and that like the only way to get a high score in Snake is to basically just play it for 50-something hours straight. And so it's just this like harrowing multi-year journey of this guy trying to play 50 straight hours of a fucking bad video game
Nice.
to break the record, and just crashing against it like time after time after time, multiple years. Just it's an interesting Moby Dick tale of a man and his own neuroses,
Mhm.
like most of those video game arcade documentaries.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as the whole like $10 save slot go, I mean, it's only going to get worse from here. We're going to be getting less content for more money and be forced to pay for more things that used to come for free. It's just the way everything is going to go, unfortunately.
Or you'll have to play indie games.
Dun dun dun.
Gross.
Yeah. Right.
Speaking of Matt, the guys that made FTL, their game came out today.
Yeah,
Into the
I
Breach.
heard, and it looks fucking dope.
It looks
okay.
pretty fucking cool. People seem to like it. I'm gonna check it out.
I just remembered I played a video game today.
Oh,
Holy
good.
shit.
At the
Yeah.
hour and 7 mark.
Yeah. Donkey Kong Country 2.
Hell yeah.
It was my. You know the thing that I made out of spite when you got your SNES Classic, the
Yeah.
emulation
You
station?
made your own.
my spite box.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it turns out it's still fun.
It's a good game.
Yeah. No, I was playing that.
You got to get all the Kremlin coins so you can
I'm-
get to the secret world and fight the real K. Rool.
Yeah. No, I'm doing that.
Great OST.
It's great. Oh,
Yeah.
it's so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Is that Grant Kirkhope? Like, is that back?
I think so.
couldn't tell
I
you.
think it's I think he did all of the originals except for 3.
3 is the worst of all of them.
Yeah, 3.
Still fine, but the worst
Yeah.
of all of them.
Yeah. No, it's true.
Are we good
2,
here?
1, 3.
I think we're
No,
good.
I still want to talk.
Okay, what do you want to talk about?
I just want to talk about a movie that I saw that I would like to
Ooh.
really highly recommend.
Mhm.
Okay, it's called Rat Film.
Rat film.
Rat Film.
Okay.
It is a documentary about rats in Baltimore, but it's also somehow a documentary about redlining and eugenics and like weird politics.
Is this the Super Size Me guy? That guy?
No, it
He made
is.
another documentary about rats, though.
Oh, really? Was it called
Mar-
Rats or something?
Morgan Spurlock? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
called Rats, I think. Yeah.
It's called
So there's
Ratatouille.
another better documentary about rats that is really about like how we came to be in this civilization.
But the one you're talking about is more about the urban decline, kind of, or like.
Yeah, and like
Okay.
the policies in place that made rats like, because it's not a rat problem, it's a people problem.
Yes.
So really, really highly recommended. It's a very weird avant-garde kind of documentary. If you can find it, definitely go watch it.
I was gonna say, are there any easy channels for me to find this, or am I gonna have to go spelunking?
I'm not sure yet. I was checking to see if it was on Netflix. It isn't yet.
Okay.
but it'll probably be coming out pretty soon.
Keep my eyes open. Most good documentaries just end up on Netflix these days.
Yeah.
I started watching the Frankenstein Chronicles on Netflix.
Why?
Ooh.
Sean
Is
Bean.
that like a sexy Frankenstein?
No, it's Sean Bean playing kind of like an early 1800s detective trying to like solve murders, but he's got a dark past. And
Ooh.
Wait, so is it because based on the page splash, it looks like Sean Bean's all sewed up together. So is it just
no.
So yeah, he's not the monster, right?
No. So like it's like there's it doesn't really follow the story of the book, but it's inspired by the events, and it features like Mary Shelley as an actual character in the
That's
series. Cool. And it's like British. It's a British show, so like everything is so period accurate that it's really cool to look at. And it reinforces what I always knew, which is that our civilization was bullshit until about 1900.
Yeah.
Everything before that was crap, and it would have been awful to live there. And be anything other than like a rich noble who had like orgy sessions or whatever.
I mean, Kingdom Come came out, and I think we can learn everything that you just said from that game as well. That game sucks unless you're a noble.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
We also learned that SJWs are ruining video games from Kingdom Come.
Because they wanted to put a black person in a medieval game. Is that the reason?
Yeah, feminists are ruining your video games, David.
Okay.
Well, it's a video game set in like medieval times, so you just automatically assume that it like has weird rightward trends. Like I can't imagine you.
Well, it's more the fact that like the head game developer for Kingdom Come is like an avowed gamergator.
Yeah, I know that's how he got funded.
Yeah. I mean, like the grift is real. Yeah, like he knew where his funding came from, and it makes sense. Like you can't even on a certain level, you can't even really fault him for knowing where to get his money.
Yeah, but I think it's like stupid to think that we should like be in love with this history, or to think that it was like somehow a better world or a cooler world or like a more noble time. Like none of that really resonates with me at all, even as far as like the 19th century.
I've always been a firm proponent that all history has been bad.
Yeah, there's been some good bits.
Like, if you're white.
Well,
yeah, I don't know. Like,
I mean, I want to go back to the 50s so that I can smoke.
Polio. We got rid of polio. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's true.
It's good history. It's there.
And like Caucasians weren't the dominant force in the world for many thousand years, right? So
yeah, I guess it depends how far back you go.
Yeah,
China strong.
China always strong.
China too strong.
This is Super Hopped Up, fair podcast about films,
Sure.
video games,
Sure.
Not beer.
everything in between.
No beer. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, it's about shaming Dave for his horrible mistakes. We are on iTunes and Stitcher, wherever podcasts are held. We have a Facebook group. Shut up, David. I'm stretching. We have a Facebook group. Come find us. From that Facebook group, you can find our Discord. Come hang out on the Discord. We are active and vibrant and would like your attention as well.
If you go to
Kelly, go.
If you go to bit.ly/hoppedupdiscord, that'll be our Discord invite.
I guess we've got a Bitly now.
Yeah,
we did it.
We're pro boys.
Moving on up. Also, we got a Twitter at Super Hopped Up. We got a YouTube channel, which is popping and locking every damn day. A lot of cool stuff going on there. I got an email, superhoppedup@gmail.com. Kelly, did I miss anything?
No.
Okay.
I found out that we do quote-unquote traditional style LPs on our YouTube channel.
What's the alt style? Like, what is the avant-garde of LPs?
Jump cuts and saying the N-word.
Boobs.
Wow. Well, that would get us more traction, probably.
Yeah.
No fake gamer girls on our traditional video things. I don't know. I lost.
Well,
that
it is
part
true
way
though,
through.
because we had Char on the Injustice one, and she is a true gamer girl.
This is true. This is actually true. Yeah. So thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you guys for listening. Final thoughts? Any of you three chuckle fucks?
Dave is doing the Wakandan salute, but nobody can hear him because this is an audio-only podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I like that picture of your wife doing it very timidly. Like she looks ashamed.
Yeah,
she was coerced into doing it.
She asked me to take the picture. She was just shy, she was shy doing it in public, I think. Yeah.
I liked that they had like the handshake fist bump into traditional Wakandan salute.
Oh yeah, it was like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and Jazzy Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
We should have a secret handshake. I'm just saying that shit was on point in Black Panther.
Straight arm, flat hand up in the air.
No, let's not do that. God damn it. No.
I know another set of white people that had a very special salute.
You're all against me. This has been Super Hopped Up, your favorite podcast about cool gestures.
You already did that.
We'll see you guys again next week. Peace out. Love your mother.